Hey humans, and welcome back to my YouTube channel where yes, I am still wearing the same clothes as one of my other videos because they were filmed on the same day because I needed to do some bulk recording for preparation for exams. But today is a little bit of self-indulgent content, right? So this is just me appreciating what I appreciate, which today is Pokemon, and we're going to count down my top 10 favorite Pokemon games. So we can start off with number 10. Number 10 for me is Black and White. I quite enjoyed Black and White. I enjoyed all of the games on my list, but they didn't quite have some of the other things that other Pokemon games had. They didn't really innovate in any like extreme way, but they did have like some cool things. Like what? They had Team Plasma. Team Plasma's a pretty cool team. Like it's one of the first teams where their goal actually seems like a morally okay goal. Just the means they were going there was bad. Because it's like the first team that, hey, we're not like going to try and destroy the universe or the world in some way, like some of the other teams, I guess. And they're not just like a straight out criminal organization like Team Rocket. So yeah, you also get good old N gets us. Otherwise, number 9, Black and White 2. It's like the upgraded version, I guess. Because now you get the airship. Or just ship. It's an airship? An airship ship. Because it's like a pirate ship, but it flies. Right? I mean, that's one of the main things that I remember from the game. Obviously there's other things, but yeah. Also just like the whole new ninja aesthetic that Team Plasma gets. I guess it's like ninja. Not really ninja, but just secret organization. Like, people who play Pokemon know, because they went from being like knights to people hiding in the shadows kind of thing. Otherwise, number 8, we have Pokemon X and Y. So now I quite enjoyed these games. There's the few things that they added, such as Mega Evolution. Mega Evolutions were cool, right? I'm sad they like went off it for a while, or like not for a while, like they went off Mega Evolution path. Just because like it added like a new layer to the game almost. And just like the whole story behind Mega Evolution. Yeah, also, I guess the confirming, along with or as, which is number 7, confirming like the multiverse theory for like each Pokemon game. Each Pokemon cartridge is like a different universe, just through their Mega Evolution. Because yeah, obviously number 7 is Auras, and this is one where, like again, it's like an improvement from some other games, although 7.8 out of 10, too much water. I quite like the one feature in particular, which was when you could ride on either Latias or Latios in their Mega form, like around the map. It was, like, I don't know, sometimes in my free time when I was like younger, I would like just do that for fun, just because it was like a fun feature. Because usually, as Pokemon fans know, you would fly from one city to the next city and you didn't have like any control over that, really. It was just, you went there. So that was like a nice feature. And then obviously there's still, I think there was still Mega Evolution. And, oh yes, the legendary Kyogre, Alpha Kyogre? Is that what it's called? Kyogre was pretty cool. Like, I liked the Mega Evolution, the Primal, there you go, that's the word, Primal Kyogre. Yeah, just added like more to the Hoenn region, because before Auras, I didn't play any of like the games before Gen 4. So that was my first introduction to the Hoenn region. Right, Brian? Yeah. It's always nice getting to play some of the earlier regions. Above Oraz, we have Sword and Shield. So now, for Sword and Shield, the reason I have it like this high is mainly because of the wild areas, right? The wild areas is just what I imagine Pokemon being, almost. It just feels so much more immersive because you're actually running around and can see the Pokemon in the wild instead of having the like small little random encounters in the long grass, which you can't even see what the Pokemon is, even though they might be gigantic and they're still managing to hide in the long grass, which is kind of weird, but yeah. So just like having the roaming Pokemon, and I guess Dynamax is cool, Gigantamax as well. I know, still prefer Mega Evolution, just saying. But solely because of the wild areas, this one gets a little bit of a boosty. Yeah, a little boosty. So we can move on to number 5. For number 5, we have Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So the reason that I have these so high and not because Sun and Moon don't feature here is because, I don't know, they have more than Sun and Moon. So if you like disregard Sun and Moon and you were like just comparing Sun and Moon to Sun and Moon 2 and you were to play just one or the other, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon would be higher than Sun and Moon just because they have like more content. They have the whole post game with all the evil villain teams, which again is more on the multiverse of Pokemon, which is pretty cool, I guess. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I say it's pretty cool, okay. Yeah, just that little bit extra. The extra story on Necrozma. Yeah, they also have Z moves, which is something. That's okay. But yeah, Ultra Sun and Moon is in that number 5 slot. Otherwise, we get to number 4. Number 4 is here because of hardly nostalgia value. I mean, yeah, because it's the first ever Pokemon game I played, and it is Pearl. Yeah. So just Cynthia. Some of you already are quaking in your boots because of that. Like a champion that was actually a challenge, right? There was still some challenge to the game. So it's not necessarily as challenging as some of the first games I've heard. I don't know, but it was the most challenging game I've played, Pokemon-wise. Otherwise, we can move on to the top 3. So 2 of them aren't mainline games, which, okay, I'll explain why. Because mainline games, they're good and all, right? But sometimes they get like a bit too similar, I guess. Like you're doing the same thing in each of them. So the reason these 2 were up there is because they were something different that I could experience with Pokemon. The first one is, well, number 3 is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Explorers of Time. Now, this was the first Mystery Dungeon game I played, and I don't know, there's just something about the Mystery Dungeon games that's so, like, breathtaking. Just because it's more like an RPG, it's still turn-based, you're going through, like, the mazy levels, and you feel like you're building a connection with the characters more, even though they're Pokemon. Also the soundtrack, oh my lord. Yeah, like whenever I listen to the Explorers of Time, like some of the soundtrack, like, you know, it gets you in the feels, like, oh. But yes, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Explorers of Time, Dialga, again, Dialga's in there. And Dialga's like one of my favorite legendaries along with Giratina, so that's always good. Otherwise, number 2 is Pokemon Ranger Guardian Signs. Again, this was because it was a different feel to a Pokemon game, right? There was like more that you could do. You used the little stylus thing to like circle around the Pokemon. Young me was not good at the game. It took me like so long to do some of the parts, it was crazy. But it was just like all around enjoyable. Just getting through the game. That story was also good. And something in particular that I really liked about Ranger signs, Guardian signs, Ranger Guardian signs, was like the multiplayer where you could do those dungeons, because there was like the multiplayer that you could do with friends. Some of you probably know. I just always enjoyed doing that with friends, because it was like one of the first games that I played against friends properly, or with friends, which, yeah, that was quite a nice experience. I don't know, like, definitely Explorers of Time and Guardian Signs both have like special places in my heart, I would say. So they do have somewhat of that nostalgia value, which possibly elevates them, as with like all my top 4, but I don't see anything wrong with that. Yeah. Otherwise, number 1, the top game for me, again, this whole list, personal, not saying that your list is wrong, it's my list, this is how I feel about games. But number 1 for me is Pokemon Platinum. This is probably largely due to the nostalgia value, and the reason it's like above the other 2 and Pearl is like below the other 2 is just because it has that little bit extra, right? It has the whole distortion world with Giratina. There's a little bit more Cynthia interaction. When I think back on my Pokemon games, I got Platinum after Pearl, obviously, and I don't know, that was like one of the first ones that I like played through properly. Not like how I played through Pearl when I was a very confused little child. And it also has Giratina, obviously. And Giratina is one of my favorite Pokemon. It's partly because of my Gen 4 nostalgia, and also there was the Giratina movie, right? That was the first Pokemon movie I ever watched. So that's the one with Shaman in it, I think. Yeah. So I also look back on the Diamond and Pearl movies with like great fondness, because what is there? There's the one with like Palkia, Dialga, and like Darkrai. That one I don't remember as well, because I watched that later on. But the 2 that I watched relatively close together was the Giratina one and the one with Arceus in it. Arceus. Sorry. Yeah. So I also look back on those, and they like just add to the nostalgia value of like Platinum, I guess. You know, I don't know. That's my list. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.